Hello, and welcome back to episode 32. I feel like when we record these podcasts, it's like we're aging that fast or something. Because I'm like, episode 32.
32, I know.
It's like I'm aging out there.
We've recorded a lot. Well, not a lot, but
we've just recorded a few in a short space of time because
we don't usually do that.
We don't usually do it.
We're usually last minute Lucy.
Yeah, we're actually being so prepared right now. Like, I really feel good about it. I don't actually have a sore throat. I just have a bit of a cough.
Is it the aircon?
No, but you know what? I think it's spiritual me into a cough, guys. Call me crazy. It's letting go. So I feel like I'm just expelling energy that no longer serves me anymore and getting it out of my system.
Yeah.
Probably if I was like to do other grounding work, it wouldn't come out in a cough. But right now it's coming out in a cough because that's my
Do you have it? Like,
body's. It might be the shits.
Like, that's true. Letting go.
Yeah, but I have a cough right now. But I'm just every time I cough, I'm like seeing myself coughing out like stuff that no longer serves me.
Some lemon.
I had
honey.
a lemon ginger honey tea yesterday before I trained, and I nearly vomited it all back up.
Was it not nice?
No, it was just because I shouldn't have drank it so close to training.
No.
But last night I had a vitality soup from Cafe Vita.
Was it nice?
So it was chicken bone broth.
Yeah, nice.
With like a shit ton of veggies. Every single vegetable in its own, I think. And some chicken. But the chicken was a bit questionable because like, you know, when they make
thigh,
you know when they make
thigh,
bone broth, they just like throw like the claws and everything in there in a big pot.
That's me done.
But I knew it was for the greater good. And I had some potatoes. The potatoes from Cafe Vita are really good.
Never had them. I've had the chips. The chips are good.
And then I had protein bar. So, you know, guys, we're fully fueled up. I'm still eating. Still keeping my vitals up. I'm joking, you swear. I was actually really sick. I was just having a cough.
Ginger helps with sore throat always, and honey. Honey,
yeah. But my throat's not sore. It's just I have a cough. That's it.
I still think it lines your throat.
Yeah.
Your throat. And drink a lot of liquid as well.
Yeah.
And I can't get sick now.
Like coconut water, and I'm not training today, so I'm re-listening to my body, guys.
Are you going to tell them what you're doing?
This is a brand new me. I think I told them at the end
of... you were like, oh, I'll tell you more later.
Well, guys, big news.
Well, actually,
I'm pregnant, I'm joking.
When this comes out, you'll actually be...
When this comes out, I'll be fully immersed in Ubud, in my yoga teacher training. I think I'll be at least a week in.
Even when the next episode is
yeah.
one previous, yeah.
Yeah, I'll be a week in. So I'm on my way to becoming a yoga teacher. I feel like this really aligns with my life right now. And like, you know, I think it's a perfect timing, divine timing, guys. Trust the timing of your life.
Really.
This is your sign to do it. Orna, so what are you doing?
Same old.
No.
I'm just doing my normal
Orna
routine.
is because we're in March now. Orna is actually going back to Ireland at the end
for a
of this
visit.
month for a short visit. Just because
28th of March.
Yeah, because her visa is up, so she's going to take a little.
No, it's not even. I'm actually going before my visa ends. It's not up.
Yeah, well,
but
she's a legal immigrant, guys. No, I'm joking.
I'm going to go see my friends and my family.
Yeah.
So, and get some, like, Irish culture, some Irish food.
Yeah. I was actually
some new clothes, some new makeup. I really am in dire need.
I was watching a girl's TikTok, and she lived in Australia, and she's an Australian citizen, but she's Irish, but she has, like, citizenship there. And she's moving home to give home a go for a year after 7 years of living in Australia. And she's like, I came home in winter and I'm literally thinking, what the fuck have I done? But she's like, I'm going to persist and give it a go because it's like out of her comfort zone. Which props to her is great. The same as like someone from Ireland moving
to Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, not for
that.
me. But the 6 weeks is enough.
Yeah.
I think. I'm going to really appreciate it because last time I went home, I was a bit like in a bit of a different headspace and a bit apprehensive and just not my fullest high self. So now when I go home, I know what to expect. Like, it's just with the purpose to see my family and kind of just connection, you know?
Yeah. And I'll be going home. When I go home again, I'll be a yoga teacher. So that's really exciting. Yeah. I would love to hold yoga practice at home when I'm there.
That'd be cool.
Guys, let me know in the comments below.
I won't be there. That'd be good if I was there.
You might. Who knows? Who knows, guys? Yeah. The future is unknown.
It is unknown, actually.
Which brings us into our
screen time.
Which will be to do with our first segment. But before we get into that, any of the news? It's a lovely
We went
sunny...
to an amazing restaurant on the weekend.
Oh, feck. We
That was
actually
so
did.
fun.
That was so fun. We've actually...
That was hilarious.
vlogged the experience.
Did we? Yeah, we did.
On our
actually.
YouTube channel.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if the vlog will be up by now, but if it's not, get excited. If it is, go watch it. It's our vlog on...
Saturday.
We try some traditional noodles here.
Well, they're actually Korean, aren't they?
Traditional as in the noodles that you add water to in the pot.
Yeah.
They're actually not very, like, authentic.
No, they're not.
And then what else did we do in that vlog?
We went to the beach again.
Oh,
And
surprise.
we just went out for dinner to this, like, 18-star restaurant.
18, like,
I don't actually know what it is, but
50
it's
Michelin
fucking...
star.
It's probably better than a Michelin because it's not, like, the proportions aren't, like, that tiny where, like, you're, like, still
It's
hungry.
a Korean...
Yeah,
I think
Korean.
it's Korean.
It is
Korean
Korean.
steakhouse over here called Sijin.
I think we've spoken about it before.
Sijin.
It's so good.
It's really, really good, guys. If you're going to Bali, book it now because there's a waiting list of like my
2
arm,
months.
the length of my arm,
Yeah.
probably. So, but if you're in the know, you know,
Yeah.
get in. No, I'm joking. But it was yeah, it's really amazing. Me and my boyfriend went in with Orna and her boyfriend, and it was actually just like...
And I, like,
such-
hyped up to my boyfriend for ages. Then, like, the day of, I was like, you know, it's actually not that great.
Just in
like,
case.
Just in case. I don't want him to... Because, you know, if you tell someone something, then their hopes get really high, and then that they can be disappointed. But he loved it. He was like, that's the best meal I've ever had in my life.
Really?
Yeah.
And it was so funny. Like, I just...
It was funny, actually,
I laughed
wasn't
so
it?
much
So,
at
like,
it.
my
And,
throat,
like,
my throat was hoarse after.
Same. My
like,
throat was hoarse, but I think
felt
it's
like mum.
because the smoke was blown in my face from... See, they cooked the
That was
food...
freezing, actually, wasn't it?
I told you.
I had a blanket on.
They cook the food in the middle of your table on, like, an open fire.
Yeah, so good.
With the air... So the aircon's, like, pumping in there because it's so hot if they're cooking.
True,
So they actually
yeah.
give you, like, cashmere blankets and stuff.
Mine was getting in all the salt on my plate when I was going to reach for the side.
And then the smoke was going a bit in my face. But you know what? I would actually... That smoke is blessed because the food is so good.
It's just... There's nothing that's bad. Like,
No.
just everything you eat, you're just like, wow, like...
And I've been so many times, like, I know what to order now. So it's good when we bring, like, people because we can recommend the good stuff. Well, it's all
were
good
we
stuff,
the
yeah.
funnest people you've brought so far?
Yeah.
I was thinking, because, like, seriously...
Definitely not like, you definitely weren't shy crack, you know.
Yeah, no, we're not.
But yeah, it was really good. And yeah, I was just laughing so much at it.
Same.
Like, just, I don't know what we were laughing at. Like, your boyfriend's hilarious. So,
Isn't he so
yeah.
funny?
He's actually so fucking funny.
He's hilarious.
But yeah, it was good meal, good company, which just really added to the experience. I
Yeah.
had such a good time. So,
Yeah.
Sijin in Bali, guys, you need to go.
If you just want to get a one-way flight and then just go home.
I even
Well, you
sent
wouldn't
the videos of it to Zoe, and she was like,
she texted me, like, about it randomly, being like, oh my fucking God, that place you went last
she was like,
night.
I would literally get on a one-way flight just to come
I was
there.
like, you need to come here.
I was like, you'd appreciate it so much
she
because
would
she's such a foodie.
love it. Like, love it.
But yeah, guys, that was really fun. But the vlog will be up. Maybe we'll vlog. I think maybe we'll put like one more day in the vlog just to make it a bit more lengthy and interesting, and then we'll post
Well, how are we
it.
going to be together then?
Maybe do something today. We'll see.
Yeah.
The unknown, guys, the unknown. Which now I will say brings us into our first segment, diving deep.
Cue the scuba.
Okay, so we, as we always do, as of recent, more like put on a poll
I didn't actually put
or
it up.
poll on my story. So basically, we didn't want to be like, oh, gee, live in the present moment, or whatever, because it's too cliche. We're not cliche. So we basically said, how much time do you spend on your phone? Because that's what really I feel takes you out of the present moment.
Yeah, 100%.
Like, it can, like, looking at TikTok and it gives you some motivational stuff, and like, you know, you might see like a reel or a video or a picture or a quote that actually does like make
Inspire.
you think
Yeah,
or
yeah.
inspire or change.
But I feel like even at that, you're like, oh, scroll
yeah,
next.
and then you scroll. So it's like, what do you have to act on that. So most of the time, unless you're working on your phone and stuff, most of the time, like, scrolling and stuff is very unproductive.
It's too much consumption and not enough creation of it, like.
Exactly, and it will take you out of the present moment. Or, you know, sometimes, like, a feeling might crop up after you've, like, had an argument with someone, or something, like, has triggered you. Most of the time you just whip out your phone, or, like, an awkward moment in a cafe, and then you just whip out your phone and try forget about it or try ignore it, instead of just kind of, like, seeing what comes up.
Sitting with yourself, even.
Sitting with yourself, exactly. So you don't really, like, know yourself so well because you just distract yourself with your phone. Or, like, you know, you could be like not argument, but mid discussion, and you just like pull out your phone and it takes you totally out of the moment. Or if I'm journaling and then my phone goes off,
Yeah, or
and
like,
I pick it
you
up.
know, you even know when you're trying to talk to someone and they're like, what?
Yeah, and they're not on the phone, they're not in, and they're on their phone, they're not in the present
And they're
moment
not
with
giving you the time of day, which is quite annoying.
Which is funny because I'm sitting here now with my phone in my hand, but it's very great.
Yeah, but that's...
But yeah, so we just said, instead of talking about like, instead of asking people maybe the question of, are they in the present moment or whatever, we just said, how much time do you spend on your phone? Because that really shows unproductive time on your phone. So we said, how much time do you spend on your phone? Unproductive, scrolling, TikTok, etc. So there was 3 options: 30 minutes to 1 hour,
Jesus.
2 to 3 hours, or 5 to 7 hours. So what do you think was the most?
I think the winner could be the middle one. What was it, 2 to 3?
Goldilocks and her porridge, you know, like lukewarm.
2 to 3 hours. I feel like maybe people would be too ashamed to admit if it's 5 to 7 hours.
I was also thinking that when I made this, I was like, people are not going to admit to being 5 to 7 hours, even if they are.
Yeah.
Because genuinely, guys, I think I'm a 5-hour girl.
It came up and it's like 5 hours and I'm like getting sick.
Like my screen time, your screen time does come up in like 7 hours, but that's like you could be texting and stuff. So, I mean, I guess
No, you're not on your phone for 7 hours, like.
I guess that's not so, well, my screen time's fucking disgusting, like.
But that's probably because you're scrolling as well as.
Yeah, ew.
Like even texting people back, I'm the worst texter backer, like ever. Texter backer. Person that texts them back, like.
Yeah, texter backer in the dictionary.
Someone
who texts someone back.
After a while, I'll take a while to text back. But I used to be so good in lockdown, which is like the randomest time because that's all anybody was doing was on their phone.
Yeah.
But I made a promise to myself. I was reading and I was like, I'm only going on my phone for like maximum 2 hours a day. And I did it. My friends would be so annoyed because they'd be trying to contact me and I wouldn't be on my phone to see what they're saying.
Well, that's like what I really I'm going to challenge myself to do when I go here up to Ubud, because it's basically a yogurt treat, so I want to fully immerse myself in it. And I was like, maybe I just won't go on Instagram at all, just delete it. But I was like, that's a bit unrealistic. So I might give myself like only the end of the day, like an hour at the end of the day to catch up and message people and scroll. And like, because then that means my screen time is going from probably 7 hours to 1 hour, which is progress in itself.
You won't even have time to be on your phone anyway.
Yeah. Anyway, so the results are in, guys. Drum roll, please. So, the 11% said 30 minutes to 1 hour. 67% said 2 to 3 hours. And 22% said 5 to 7.
I feel like you are such liars. You are all 5 to 7. Stop lying.
So 114 people said they are 2 to 3 hours.
No, I guess that's right. Cool, because if you're working and stuff, you're not going to be on your phone like 5 days a week, like.
And 37% said they were 5 to 7 hours. And do you know what? I would admit, like, I don't want to admit it, but admittedly, I would probably be in the 5 to 7 hours.
Mine went to 4 hours. Oh, it's actually disgusting. I can't cope.
Yeah, I just do be like, I mostly look at stories. I don't really scroll on people's feeds, like.
Neither do I.
Or
I look at stories.
On my feed, it's stories that like are just, because they're new and they never stop.
And TikTok.
And TikTok, you could spend hours on.
And I watch YouTube when I'm on the treadmill and stuff like that, so that would, like, I guess, get out my screen time.
Yeah, and I wouldn't religiously be on my phone till like 2 in the morning or anything, scrolling. I used to be when I was a kid, like, on the DS.
I put my phone down, like, now I'm really trying before, like, an hour before I go to bed, and then not go on it, like, scrolling or anything until kind of late into the morning.
There's so many, and I bet a lot of people are the same, so many boundaries you'd love to put in with your phone, but it's just like an addiction, like, it's so hard to.
And especially the way you use it to contact people as well, like, it's a form of connection. Like, if you're on your own, this is what I find, like, I would spend quite a lot of time on my own, so it's almost like connection if I'm on my phone.
Yeah, and you don't feel like you're on your own.
But it's not like I want my phone, it's connection you want, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and like, you know, you could be like, I don't think I've read my book and without like checking my phone, or like solidly read my book for an hour or whatever without like my phone going off and checking it. Like, even when I'm journaling, like, my phone will go off and I'd check it, and then it would kind of take me out of the headspace.
I remember I heard something like, when you're reading a book and you're like, say 3 pages in or whatever you're in, and you get that urge to check your phone, is when you should go and say no and read another 3 pages, and like
it's like your attention span.
Yeah, you're training your attention span, you're training your discipline. So that's something to ponder on.
Yeah, that's why our attention. I read the book and obviously didn't fucking work for me.
And you put
how to break up with your phone,
and
how to break up with your phone, and like that's what your phone like just tests your attention span so much. Because like I said, when you can keep scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, Instagram, TikTok stories, they never end. It's never like you get to an end point. It's like you're finished. Oh, you've caught up on everything. Like
I feel like my
it used
boyfriend's
to be
screen
like
time is
that.
probably really good. He's been going on too. Yeah.
But so it's just like new, and that's why like in this day and age, everyone gets bored easily and like wants new, like convenience, like
new girl.
They don't
want to
wait for their meals to cook. You just want to instantly get it.
Yeah, they don't want to do the work,
like,
basically.
Series like in Netflix, you don't even have to press like okay next series. It just automatically comes up.
Although when you're watching Netflix for too long, you haven't moved. It's like continue watching and it pauses.
That's why like
and
yeah,
like,
like
oh, I have to get up and go.
Sound like our dad, like this fucking generation, you know.
He does go on his phone
But,
to read.
yeah.
He goes to read. Literally, doesn't have social media. Doesn't have anything. He reads.
Like newspapers aren't really a thing and stuff anymore because the news is on your phone.
I remember he used to go on a Sunday. Your mum would go to the shop and get him a newspaper.
Yeah, fucking hell.
Yeah, it's the iPad.
So 2 to 3 hours, one. But how honest are you guys with yourself? Like I'll even go check my screen time now and see. Screen. Where do you find screen time?
Oh God. No. Thank God we did this podcast today. What was yours yesterday? How the
My
fuck?
screen time today so far is 50 minutes.
Mine's 31.
And it's only 9:30 a.m. in the morning and it's 50 minutes. But
what was yesterday? I don't want to say
how do I
anything
check?
else.
Oh.
6 hours and 40 minutes.
Yesterday. My yesterday was 6 hours, 40 minutes. My daily average is 3 hours, 45 minutes. So guys, as you're listening to this, go check your screen time if you want the shock of your life. And I also have mindfulness on from 6:30 a.m. to 8:30 a.m., which doesn't let any like notification come through from selected apps like TikTok or Snapchat or
what am I doing on my phone?
Instagram. And then I also have the
confused.
I also have the reminder on that tells you if you've gone over 2 hours on Instagram daily, and it comes up every single day, and I press ignore for the rest of the time.
Yeah.
You can say ignore for a moment, ignore 15 minutes, or just ignore completely. I just say ignore completely.
Yeah, it's
and
actually,
just keep scrolling.
So
I don't know what that's there for. I spend 2.5 hours a day on Instagram and 1 hour on WhatsApp. WhatsApp I don't really count as unproductive because it's completely connection. That's how we know that we're not in the present moment.
Presently, yeah.
I mean, we're not about reading the book.
Becoming supernatural, Joe Dispenza.
And what does it say about like being in the present moment?
It's so important because when I think we spoke about this briefly last week, when you're in the present moment, you're in the unknown, but a lot of us are never in the present moment, so therefore we are always creating more of the same known. So if you feel stagnant or stuck, it's because you're never living you're never living presently, and you're living off like.
Well, it's because, like, if you're not living in this present moment and you're like, okay, well, next I'm going to see, like, go meet this girl for coffee and I know I have to clock in at this time. It's like, that's all stuff that you've done before.
Exactly. So you're living in the past and you're creating your future based on past experiences. When in reality, all experiences can be new, but it's us that are making them all the same because we're not living presently.
When we know that we're getting the bus to work, we know what getting the bus to work feels like. And, like, we know, so when you're like, I'm going to get the bus to work. Like, obviously you have to because you have to get it to work. But you're, like, already kind of predicting how you're going to feel on the bus, or just, like, predicting, like...
Just the same old same. Did you ever hear same shit, different day?
Yeah, like Groundhog Day or same old. Like,
oh, my God.
We're not saying that you're going to get the bus, that getting the bus to work is, like, doing the same thing. But you could get in the bus and be like, okay, I'm going to put my phone and look out the window today and create a brand new experience on the bus. Exactly. Or I'm going to, like, say hello to the bus driver.
Or even like if you're walking home.
But not that even predicting. But just like when you're when you're getting on the bus, like just do everything like, okay, right now I'm getting on the bus, put my leg on the bus. Like try be as hyper aware.
And also if you're walking home from work or walking home from your friends or whatever, take obviously as long as it's safe to do so. Yeah. Take a different route home, because like it sparks creativity out, because like it's not. You know, when you're doing something that's so mundane that you've done a billion times, it's like I would zone out driving because I'm like, nah.
Yeah, or washing the dishes, people like always zone out. They just think like looking
or
at the window.
Or brushing your teeth, I always do it.
Yeah, so like it's just being in the present moment is just kind of being so hyper aware of what you're doing right now. Like I'm talking right now, like listening to my voice and listening to every single word I'm saying is hyper awareness. Or like when you're washing dishes, like look at the bubbles on the plate, or when like that when you're getting on the bus, be aware of like scanning your card, because you could do that with your eyes closed and not even think about it, but like scan your card, like when you're walking, see 5 things, hear 5 things.
Oh, I love doing
like that makes you fully back in the present, and it's such a nice feeling when you're in the present, because for that like split second that you are making yourself be in the present moment, you forget about like
everything,
what worry that you have from yesterday, what you said to that person that might have upset them, or that meeting that you have with your boss later in work. You feel forget about that, so it's free. Like you feel really free for that split second, because there's nothing else in that moment that's bothering you.
Yeah, you're just like, you're just there, you just are, and that's it.
Yeah, and it can sound a bit far-fetched and like we said cliche, but like live in the present.
We probably sound like airy fairies
but when you fully apply it, and like you just know, you know what I mean, like you just know.
So advice would be get the book, guys.
Yeah,
download the book or get it if you have a Kindle, if you have a hard copy.
Audible, it's good to probably listen to on Audible.
Yeah.
Becoming Supernatural by Joe Dispenza, or any of Joe Dispenza's book, kind of
Breaking the Habit Being Yourself. You Are the Placebo.
You Are the Placebo. Focusing on the breath. That's not a book, but I mean that is also a way to stay present. It's just like feeling like that moment that you like breathe in, you can feel the breath at the top of your nose.
I actually never can feel that, which is so weird. It's so,
or wherever you might feel the breath,
I just feel it in my belly,
in your belly rising up and down. Your
I did
chest
it this
rising
morning,
up and down.
10-minute meditation.
That's why like people swear by yoga, is because it really brings them to the present moment.
I need to try yoga more.
But anyway,
don't try it.
We probably do sound like airy fairies, and you're probably like, I don't know if I'm here for a spiritual podcast, but anyway, we're gonna get into the fun stuff now. We'll get into the red flag segment.
Ready?
And we did put on our story. Tell us your worst, funniest, or shocking dating experience. And people sent in some
funny ones,
and some Orna hasn't heard some of mine, and I haven't heard some of hers that were sent to her.
Yeah,
vice versa. So we will read them out and judge them. No, I'm joking, and rate them. And
you go first.
Okay, so someone said, sorry, it's so bad already. I can't. Took a guy home and he shat in my bed.
I know the story about that.
Do you?
Yeah.
Think you can share it?
I don't know. Maybe not. It was fucking mad though.
Really? Took a guy home and he shat in my bed.
Like, sorry? It was ridiculous. Like,
I don't understand. Like, obviously he's had sex and then he was asleep and shat in your bed or something.
I don't even know if that... No, that didn't happen. They didn't even.
Or I watched a series.
He just... And then just left and didn't say anything. Didn't even mention that he pooed in her bed. Like, she obviously knew, because she was the one who seen it in the bed. Was like, well, this wasn't me. And then, like, it was all over the toilet. It was just a mess. He chilled with them for a while after. Oh, God. She didn't know yet because she hadn't been in the room, and like she obviously just didn't see it or something. He chilled with them for a while after, for like an hour, and still didn't say anything. And then went home, and then never like told her about it again. And then she heard it through someone else back to her. She's like, "Oh, blah blah blah, doesn't even know that I shat in her bed." And she was like, "I fucking do know." So she messaged him about it, and he was like, "Knew this was coming."
Fucking hell.
Ew, what's wrong with people?
It's so easy. Like, I understand to get the shit here in Bali, but just don't do it in someone's bed. It wasn't?
No.
Okay, well, I mean, it could have happened in Bali quite easy, I would say. But if it didn't even happen in Bali, like, that's
I would,
bad.
if that was me, okay, hopefully that never, ever, 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 ever happens to me. But number one, I wouldn't go sit with them at the pool and, like, just have the chats with them while I've shat in their bed.
No.
I would take the sheets off. Like, carry them over my shoulder, like, spray the room, or like find some like toiletries in the cupboards, and absolutely run out of the house and not say anything to anyone.
So guys, maybe we should title this podcast "What to Do If You Shat Someone's Bed."
Yeah.
And then listen to Orna's
That's
advice.
what I would do. Like, you wouldn't go sit with them and just be like, hey, like.
Well, I was watching Alex Earl's TikTok, and she said that someone pissed in her drawer. What the fuck?
On purpose.
On purpose, yeah. And then also, if you've seen White Lotus on Apple TV, like the series,
I've not.
One of the manager of the hotel goes up to a guest bedroom and shits in their suitcase.
Why?
Because he hated the guest.
Fair.
Fair. But I mean, fucking hell.
Oh
Imagine
my
just like
God.
trying to play that off and just pretend it never happened.
Just like it wasn't even.
I've heard multiple stories though of that happening. Fucking hell.
Same, to be honest.
Yeah, guys, if you shit the bed, just at least clean it up.
If you shit the bed, take off the sheets and don't stay in the house.
At
And
least
don't,
just clean it up, okay?
Yeah.
It's a bit of an awkward thing to bring up, but how do you be like, yeah, I shot your
But
bed.
like, if you can clean it up without anyone noticing, don't tell anybody. But like, if you can, yeah, I don't know.
I've
Sorry.
actually heard someone else did send something other thing about shit, and I'll read it out in a minute.
Really?
God, these shitty stories. Maybe our next question should be, tell us your.
Have you ever shat the bed?
No, tell us stories about shit. To be honest. Okay. Someone said he took me to sushi samba, but didn't like sushi and couldn't use chopsticks.
Oh, I mean, that's cute.
It was
If
the
he knew
first-
you like sushi.
It's the first date. He took her to sushi but he didn't even like sushi, and couldn't use chopsticks. I mean, sushi restaurants you can get katsu curry.
Yeah, you can get other things that aren't sushi.
You can do non-sushi
Noodles.
things. I don't know what sushi samba is, so maybe it's a only sushi restaurant. I don't know. And can't use chopsticks. I mean, if you're gonna bring someone on a first date and want to impress them,
You'd be able to use chopsticks.
Should be able you could be able to use chopsticks, like, or else just don't bring them. Bring them to a
that's the name.
steakhouse where you know it's used a steak
True.
knife. Like,
If you know how to use a knife and fork, maybe opt for something like that.
yeah, it's chopsticks though aren't easy to use.
No, they're not.
Like, I reckon maybe that could be another question. Can you use chopsticks?
Like, remember the other night we got to choose our chopsticks. There was like so much choice, and I was trying to pick up that little thing at the start. I don't know
little
what it was.
ball?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I was like really. Oh no, it was the egg. I was really struggling.
Well,
trying
guys,
to pick up that egg.
try use chopsticks to pick up Maltesers. Pretty sure that was an ad once.
Was it?
Yeah.
Is it hard?
Yeah, it's hard.
Why is that?
I don't know, because it's like if you hold something too tight, it just pop out.
Yeah.
But I'm a professional chopstick user, but with practice now, it didn't come naturally to me. Yeah, maybe just on a first date,
Stick to what you know.
stick to what you know. I would always say that, and don't order chicken wings. Well, I mean, these
if
are
you
all
won't.
like old belief systems. You know, it's 2023. You can eat chicken wings and corn on the cob if you want on a first date.
Yeah.
Someone said as soon as he pronounced camembert, like the birth the
Camembert
name.
cheese.
Nope.
Camembert.
Camembert. I actually don't really know how you
I don't
probably
really know what
say
that even cheese is. Sorry,
camembert.
I'm not a mad
It's the
fan of
one that
cheese.
you can put in the oven and then you dip stuff into it. You know, you often see it in
Yeah,
bread
in
and stuff.
pastas.
Yeah, so someone said their worst date experience was as soon as he pronounced camembert, like birth the name. No. I mean, it depends how, if he brought you to a wine and cheese restaurant and he fucked up the name, then he'd be like, oh, embarrassing.
I don't know about that one, but yeah.
But, yeah, camembert.
Camembert.
Like
I
the
say
name.
stuff like weird all the time because Irish people don't pronounce all their words, whereas English people do. My boyfriend's English, so he'll notice if I say one thing like that's weird.
Yeah.
Like this, that, these, and those. What else? Like
Well, we always get slagged for saying tree. Like
tree,
1, 2, 3.
yeah, 33.
Not 1, 2, 3.
There's so
Three.
many things I say.
We say the number 3 and a tree outside like the same
The
thing.
same, yeah.
But it should be tree outside and 1, 2, 3.
3 one after.
But I know you guys, if you're listening and you're from Ireland, just be like, you get it.
Yeah.
You know, if you know, you know. Someone else said she invited me out for a few drinks. I got a margarita and she got a green juice. But to be honest, one person who does not drink alcohol, I support that. Get a green juice,
Yeah,
girl.
whenever I'm with someone, I don't like to drink a lot anyway, but as in frequently. Whenever I'm with someone and they're not going to drink, I'm like automatically not going to drink then. And like I'll never be the first to be like, oh yeah, I'm going to have a drink.
Well, I would just get maybe like, I feel like it's kind of an awkward thing if like you're out with two people and then the person's like, oh, do you want to drink? And I don't drink. So I'm like, I don't drink. And then they're like, well, I'm not going to drink then if you're not drinking. Like, I'm not going to be the only one drinking. You're like, okay.
Yeah, you're like, well, I'm not drinking, so oh well.
I would just get like just a soda water or a Coke Zero.
I'm not a mad
And then
fan
I
of
drink
soda.
it and pretend I'm locked.
Yeah.
Just so they don't feel alone.
Someone said something, so my first date told me he was gay, then gaslighted me saying he wasn't, and then proposed to me.
That honestly sounds hectic.
Doesn't it?
That sounds fucking hectic. Sounds like a timeline.
I don't get it. Like, was this all in the one day?
So he told her she was gay.
He was gay.
Sorry, he told her he was gay, and then was like, actually, no, I'm not. And then
gaslighted me saying, why was that gaslighted me saying
that
he wasn't? And
like
then
making
proposed
out to be like, you're just making that up. I didn't say that. And it's like, well, you fucking told me you did. Like, that's gaslighting. Trying to make you sound.
It was
feel like you're crazy.
what I'm confused with. Was this all in the one sitting?
And then he was like, do you want to marry me?
Yeah. Wow. I'd be like, sorry, what?
I'd be like, you know that meme? It's like,
yeah.
looking at you.
No, I don't know about that one now, to be honest.
Okay, I'll read the one again about, this one's fucking,
about the poo.
About hectic. This is fucking
it the
hectic.
poo?
Yeah. I was on a date, this is sent anonymously, guys, as well, so there was a few of them. I was on a date with this boy, and I had the shits. I scuttered my knickers.
It's really someone's joking with this. I really think they are. This is a joke.
It's the phrasing.
This is a joke.
It's the phrasing.
I know it's a joke.
I don't think it is.
It is a joke.
Because listen, I scuttered...
Oh my god.
I scuttered my knickers. And it went all over my white dress.
Oh my god.
I was so embarrassed, but he helped me clean it, and we've been together since.
I just don't know if that's true or not.
I mean, if he
that's
cleans
true love right
if he
there.
cleans your shit off you, your own shit off you on a first date, I guess he's a keeper.
I need to tell you a bit of a shitty story, but I can't. 'Cause
I guess he's a keeper.
yeah, that's true love right there.
Like, one time I've heard a story where this guy and this girl were only newly together. I think I've seen it in someone's YouTube video. I can't remember now off the top of my head who. They were only newly together, and they were on their first holiday. And she had, like, belly, or not belly, but it was bad belly. And she obviously went to the toilet, and was puking and shitting herself at the same time, and was, like, severely dehydrated and, like, fainted in public and then shat herself in public. And he was the one.
Oh, yeah, where did I hear
He was
this
the one who
before?
cleaned it up and, like, helped her and all. And she was like, I knew he was like my husband. I think they're married and all now. Because like she actually shot herself, fainted, and then shot herself in public. Because she was, and he was the one to like rescue her and play it. Like he was obviously out with her, rescued her and played it off well and cleaned her and helped her hold her dignity together.
So cute.
So I mean, if he loves you after that, he's gonna love you forever.
Yeah, that's seeing you at your worst.
And like Tommy Fury, the way he was like has said he had like so much more respect for women after he seen Molly May like give birth, and he watched the whole thing.
She said she thinks she pooed. The nurses told her she
yeah,
she
probably.
I think I pooed when I gave birth.
And like they're watching like your vagina stretch the same size as the baby's head, and they're like still love you, like you know what I mean? That's how you know it. Someone said he clicked his hands at the waiter and then also took my tip out of my hand and gave it to waiter, pretending it was his. This is major red flag. Alarm bells.
That is an ick. That's disgusting.
Clicking the hands of the waiter. That would just. I'd be like, sorry, I'm just gonna go to the toilet, and then
I would not come back. I'd
just
be like,
walk to the exit.
Who do you think you are? You absolute weirdo. Like.
Yeah, you just like.
Like we've mentioned in the last episode, how someone treats a waiter says a lot about
service
them.
worker, and then you have you're giving the tip, I guess, because he might. I don't know if this guy even sounds like he's someone who would pay for the meal, but anyway, you are giving the tip, and then he takes it out and pretend it's out of
that
is just pretend it's his.
So
it's just
cringe, isn't it? Like
ick.
Oh my god, no.
And she put loads of love heart eyes, messing, obviously, like being sarcastic. Yeah. Gross. Okay, do you have any more? I have one more.
No.
Someone said, I don't like Tinder dates because I think meeting people in real life is more rewarding. But I moved to Bali and I didn't know anyone, so I gave it a shot. And the first Tinder date I ever went on, after an hour, she asked if I wanted to help her film OnlyFans content. Called her a Gojek and sent her back to the streets.
Was this? No,
I don't know. It's anonymous. I don't know who sent it in.
Oh my god.
I mean, that's not shocking here. Like, if I hear that story, like if someone, you go on a first date and someone's like, yeah, my job is
Remember our
OnlyFans.
roommate did, and he was like,
because it's so common for people to have that type of job here, which is completely fine. Like, I don't even get shocked. But a lot of the time, actually, these OnlyFans girls are looking for someone to make content with them, because obviously if they're having like sex live on camera or whatever, they get more money. So like they're probably just like asking you on a date, or you're asking them on a date, and they're going to kind of
warm you up to the idea, a job interview,
to kind of like groom you into the idea to see if you're a potential candidate for their content.
Mm-hmm.
So
I've heard that happen
if she was willing
actually
to pay you, I mean,
I'd do it. I'd say no face involved.
No face. But yeah, I mean, if you're not into it, whatever. But
that is
no
so
shame,
funny.
no shame.
I'd be like, no, sorry.
Yeah, like,
I'm not doing that.
But yeah, there were some.
The best shit stories is the Newlyweds podcast. They have shit stories like every week.
Really?
It's just so funny.
Maybe we should have a shit story segment. That would be very unique.
That is literally theirs. Like Jamie said he pooed in the water once, and like it floats back up because they got a story in about like a girl swimming and then a shit plops up in the water near her, and people were like shouting things down at her, but she didn't know what they were saying.
Yeah.
And then like all of a sudden she looked and there was a big poo in the sea beside her, like coming towards her, and she's like, she's never swam like a 50 meter as fast in her life. And then like Sophie was like to Jamie, oh, have you ever pooed in the water? And he was like, yeah, I have, but I broke up with my hand like a propeller. So like that it wouldn't like come back up.
No.
I was like,
the funniest poo story I ever was Jack and Sinead.
Yeah.
She actually had it on her podcast. So I remember sending it to someone, and
I was like crying in the gym. I've listened to the podcast in the gym.
It was like 14 minutes in on one of the podcasts, and
oh my god,
Jack pooed in when Jack and Sinead were just together at the start. Jack pooed and he threw out her window and it landed on her skylight.
There's so many stories like that in the Newlyweds. You need to listen to the podcast. It's so funny.
Just shit stories are the funniest. I don't know why, because it's such a thing that everybody does. It's just how you deal with it.
Yeah.
Will we get into...
Wait, oh no.
What are you going to say?
I can't. You have to crop this.
Okay.
Well, just shatting his jocks in the club and didn't even go home. He just threw them in the bin and stayed out.
I'm not cropping that.
No, you have to. I'll get in so much trouble. You have to crop it.
I know another story of a guy.
No, you're cropping that.
Yeah, okay. What if I go beep, doing a shit in his jocks?
Okay.
And then I know another story. I heard this off a guy I actually know. He was in a sunbed shop and really had to shit. But he just had gotten into the sunbed. He just had gotten into the sunbed. So he did a shit in the sunbed bin. Still did a sunbed and just walked out and left and never went back to that sunbed shop.
Oh my god! And they clean each time someone does a bed. They clean the whole room.
Imagine cleaning this and then just looking in the bin and seeing a shit there.
That used to happen in the change rooms. I think, like when I used to work in Pennies, like sometimes people would shit in the
I've heard loads of shitty change room stories as well.
Just go to the fucking toilet. Like I don't understand.
It's such a topic. Like
I don't get it. Like.
But it's something so natural that happens to all of us, like...
Yeah, it is.
But, like, you period the bed.
Do you poo when your partner's in the house or no? If you're early days?
Yeah, but I go to the other bathroom.
Yeah.
When I want to poo, I go to the other bathroom so that, like... I just feel like...
I bring my phone and play TikTok really loud.
Yes! I just play, like, music.
I, like, turn the tap on, like...
Oh, honestly, it's just like I actually can't poo if I don't have some background noise while someone else in the house. I get stage fright or something like. And guys, the worst thing is like when I was like newly with my boyfriend, I got like belly once.
Was this from Lambongan?
This is in Lambongan, like, and honestly, there's no worse. It's not even a shameful thing. There's no worse shame than like having to walk. Like I need to go to the toilet, and then just having like it's not shameful because everyone does it, but it's just like, oh my god, like having the absolute shit and like only being newly with someone,
and especially you'll know the pain if you've ever been to Bali, like
and then having like
it's Bali is a different kind of shit.
Today.
It's a different kind of shit
because like he gets it, and like he's not that judgmental with that. He'd know, like he'd be like, okay, yeah, just go. But I had to shit myself numerous times in the one day when I was only newly with my boyfriend.
To me as well. Remember? I got Bali Belly the first time when my boyfriend got back from Thailand. I hadn't seen him for 4 months. I was on a Zoom call.
And one of our friends...
He was on a Zoom call. Like,
one of our friends like went on a date with a guy. I think she talked about her Instagram story. Went on a date with a guy and went for dinner and all was well and good. And then he came back and he stayed over. And she had the shits like in the middle of the night, and like obviously you have an ensuite. You have an ensuite in your bedroom, so like she's there trying not to like shit loudly when you have the shits, like so it's like and he's
He's
asleep in
somewhere
bed,
in
and
this
she's like, I
podcast
can't, I can't.
Oh my god, no. I think I
And like, if you're trying to hold it in, you're fully sweating. It's like a bridesmaid scene.
I would just leave the house in the middle of the night and go to like 24-hour pharmacy and be like, can I please use your toilet?
or a gas station.
Like, can I please use your toilet? I can't.
Oh, I can't go.
Stop.
Guys, we need to do a shit segment another
Yeah,
time, 'cause
that'd
it's
be
actually
so
so funny.
Hopefully
But-
no one's eating when we're talking about this.
Yeah, sorry guys. But if you have your shitty funny stories, send them in. Yeah. So lastly, we'll get into our beauty in the mundane. Do you have one today or this week? Because we're doing them so frequently. Pass. Anyway, no, I was actually doing my meditation this morning. And I started, I don't know if I talked about this already, but I downloaded this app called Waking Up
that was really
by Sam Harris.
You've not spoken about it.
I would really recommend anyone to download the app now after listening to this podcast. Waking Up by Sam Harris, it's an app. And basically they do like a meditation, you get a 7-day free trial, and they do like a meditation course. And like you're like, oh fuck, another meditation course. But it's actually like really like practical, and like doesn't require you to start thinking like deeply or spiritually or anything like that. But anyway, so I've done like the first 4 meditations, and this week, or this meditation today, we actually introduced sound. And it was basically just like making you, sometimes we have a thought that goes by, we hold on to the thought and we like try, like we continue that thought in our head by holding on to it. So today we listened to the sounds around us, and my back door was open so I could hear all the birds and stuff, and like sound comes in and goes, and we can't like hold on to the sound. We thought we can by thinking, oh, that bird was nice, but we can't actually hear that sound again. Like once that sound, like a car that passes by,
It's like, boom,
it's gone.
Yeah.
So we should apply our thoughts like that. Easier said than done, I know. But anyway, today I was in my meditation and I was like just listening out for sound, and because I was obviously so present, guys, present moment, I was listening out for the sound, and it was just so nice to like listen to the birds, and no sound annoyed me like construction or a car, because I was listening out for that. Whereas if I was meditating and trying to listen to my breath and a drill kept going off, like I could easily get annoyed by that. But he said like there's no perfect meditation space.
Background noise kind of, yeah.
Like
yeah,
even
yeah,
actually
yeah.
meditating beside a construction site is nearly better, because if you're focusing on that, it's giving you things to focus on.
Yeah, there's noise.
But it was actually really, that was just like a really beautiful part of my day, was the natural sounds of my environment.
How long are the meditations?
10 minutes, 5 minutes, depends. Not longer than 10 minutes so far. But the natural like space of my meditation, and just hearing the sounds and the bikes that pass by and the dogs barking, was just like really beautiful to not have any resistance towards any of it and just like welcome it all. Namaste, everybody. But you know, that was just a nice beauty in my mundane life today. Beat that.
My Tuesday life today.
My Tuesday life. I said mundane.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, I get it.
Mine was probably, I don't know if I've said something like this before,
It doesn't matter.
but mine was this morning. I woke up, reached for my book instead of my phone, but then sometimes I'm like still half asleep and I'm reading the words and it's putting me more to sleep, so I'm like, no, just go to the toilet and like walk around for a bit, and I made my lovely overnight oats with the best peanut butter I found on the island so far,
Oh, yeah,
from
you should try it.
Bukashi. Has honey and salt in it.
Okay, yeah.
You can taste the
Gonna
difference.
try,
You can
gonna
taste the
try.
difference. It's about, you take a mortgage out for it, but it's grand.
So that was your beauty in the mundane, your peanut butter.
No. So, and then I was reading my book in bed. My boyfriend was asleep, as per.
Lazy bastard.
I had my Kindle on my lap and my lovely overnight oats, and the curtains
Just a slow morning like that again.
were shining the light in, and had the palm trees outside, the shadows of the palm trees. It was just really nice.
That's what we said like in our last week's episode, that like it's just nice to take a slower morning. Like even if you do have a busy day, but just get up a little bit earlier to give yourself that time to kind of be slow and let your nervous system regulate.
On TikTok there's a trend, my 6 to 9 before my 9 to 5 or something.
Yeah, I love that.
And there's like videos. So go on TikTok. No, don't.
Yeah.
If you want to be on, don't be on your phone.
Yeah. But it is nice to just wake up a little bit earlier to give yourself time to settle in, rather than
like go,
rush,
wake
rush,
up and
rush,
stress.
rush,
Like,
and
yeah.
then, you're parasympathetic and you're sympathetic and all that.
Yeah.
We'll wrap it up here with a little bit of a shorter podcast this week.
Yeah.
We hope you enjoyed this episode.
I don't
We
know
hope
when
you
the next one will be, so you better.
We're going to have YouTube videos up, though.
Yeah.
And we're always on TikTok, like, updating putting little bits of our life up, and get ready with me's and days of our life and romanticizing things. And
I think for podcasts though, there'll be like a 2-week break from when this one's out.
yeah, just because we're upgrading.
There will be a 2-week
We're
break.
upgrading our vessels both spiritually and physically.
Yeah.
So
Sorry, it took me a
our
minute to
vessels,
get
as in our
that.
human bodies and our minds and
Yeah.
souls, and come back with better content for you guys. But
I think I'll be holding a yoga class the next podcast
the
on
next
this
one.
table here.
upgrade your vessel as much as you can every day.
Get off your fucking phone now. Put
Yeah.
your screen lock on it. After you finish listening
After
to this
you've downloaded the
podcast.
Waking Up app and listen to this podcast, phone off, be present.
Yeah.
Look
No
around,
phone before you wake up. or
See
before you
5
go to sleep.
things and hear 5 things.
And you can feel 3. It used to be like feel 5, but I'd be like, right, I'd be like going around touching the ground when I'm on my walk.
Yeah, who would think you're wild.
But
But yeah, have a beautiful March.
don't shit yourself.
Or send us in your shitty stories if you want to shit
Yeah.
yourself and send it in to us. No, I'm joking. Do not. But yes, have a beautiful day.
Have a
beautiful
great day.
weekend.
Happy March.
Happy March, and
Can't wait for the clocks to go forward.
be present.
See
See ya.